Hey everybody, today is April 7th, and today the market had a pretty muted day. The Dow closed up 16 points, the S&P closed up 6 points, and the Nasdaq closed down 9 points. So the question is, are we going to see the market continue to push up higher, or are we going to pull back a little bit and fill these gaps and perhaps test this 50-day simple moving average again? Before we get into the analysis, please read this disclaimer, and you can pause this video as you read it. Okay, so on Monday I talked about how we had this big gap up day to start the week. As you can see, the weekly chart, we have a gap up. But I also talked about how the weekly charts, the gaps usually fill before they go up higher, right? And then we also saw on Monday that the VIX was also rising on Monday, which is why I cautioned that even though the market is moving up, we might see a pullback or at least some sort of maybe like a stall in the price action. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now. In the past two sessions, we've seen the price basically just stall here and finding the 400 level to be strong resistance. We did break through 400, but to move up higher, the market seems to there seems to be some profit taking in this vicinity, right? Looking at the VIX, we did come down, and finally we filled this gap that we made back in March when the pandemic caused the market to crash. But at the same time, we've also have a down gap that we now will likely fill to the upside. So what does that mean? As you see, the VIX doesn't like to just come down very quickly, right? It tends to like move around sideways for a while. And so I'm predicting that we'll probably see something similar to that. If the VIX does decide to move sideways and fill this gap, we might see some short-term volatility, and that might put some pressure on the stock market to come down a little bit, right? And I've also talked about how in a healthy bull market, we want to see the market grind up and down to the upside, right? A little give and take, like a little healthy pullback once in a while to our short-term moving average, this 50 simple moving average over here. We've had a bounce off here, a bounce off here, and a bounce off here. And once in a while, we'll have a correction of maybe like 5 to 10%. So down to this goal line, which is the 100-day simple moving average. And the goal line is our midterm moving average support level here. Here, we have strong bounce out there. So I do suspect that a pullback here is not out of the picture. I could see the simple moving average, the 50-day simple moving average, moving up as the session develops, and I can see the price pulling back a little bit, filling this gap that we had on Monday, and then bouncing off and then going up a lot higher. So I think that there could be a correction, or not a correction, but like more of a pullback in the upcoming few sessions, especially as I said with the VIX perhaps coming up and filling this gap. Also, we're starting to see some weakness in the dollar, which has been good for the stocks recently, but at the same time, we're starting to see the yields starting to recover a little bit, right? We had a pullback, but we're starting to see the yields move up a little bit. And if we do have something like in late March where we pushed up higher after finding sort of a temporary bottom, that could put some pressure on the stock market, right? So bit of a bullish day today. If the yields continue to go up higher, that may put some downward pressure on the stock. So just to keep that in mind as we watch this stock market develop. Yes, it's exciting to see the stock market reach new all-time highs like it did on Monday, finally holding above 400 on the SPY or 4,000 on the S&P. But also keep in mind that in a healthy bull market, as we just said, it's good to see some pullbacks once in a while. So that's basically my strategy with the stock market going forward. Any pullbacks I think could be a great buying opportunity as long as we hold the 50-day simple moving average. Of course, if we do end up having a correction, if we do see a big spike in the VIX, that could lead to perhaps a 5 to 10% correction. But I believe that the 100-day simple moving average or the goal line will act as strong support. And yeah. So weekly, looking very strong, continuing this uptrend that we started back in late March of last year. The monthly chart, also looking very strong. Yeah, so MACD, of course, finding that bullish momentum, right? We want to see this continue to move a lot higher. RSI just about touching higher lows is very bullish. So we do have a bit of way to go before we start to get technically overbought. So on the upside, it is possible that we could see something like this happening, where we see the price kind of go up, touch this Fibonacci line, perhaps get rejected, push down, and continue higher. Something similar like this. But just keep in mind that the harder we go up, the harder we usually fall on the pullback. So personally, I would like to see the market come down over the next couple sessions and then find support on the 50-day over here. But another scenario, of course, is we may see this thing continue higher and then have a strong push rejection, bounce off the 50-day, and then push up higher. Either way, I would be very optimistic on buying any pullbacks, as I think that we are still in a long-term bull market. And of course, if we zoom out again, still in a long-term secular bull market all the way back from 2009, right? So I'll update you in the next couple days. Let's see how the market develops, and yes, so overall optimistic and bullish on the markets. If you found this video helpful, please like this video, leave a comment below, and subscribe for updates. Thank you all so much for watching, and I appreciate your support.